Hi, I'm Gene Black, and today I'm going to show you how to do a quick piecing technique for making 4 patches, 9 patches, and also how to nest the seams so that you get your points correctly aligned. First, when you're going to do this, you're normally told to cut your fabric into squares for 2 inches or 4 inches or 4.5 inches. For this demonstration, I've cut strips that are 6 inches long, and we're going to cut it in strips rather than cut squares. What we're going to do is place the strips face to face and sew a 1/4 inch seam along the edge. I have one already done, and when you sew it with your 1/4 inch seam, then you're going to take it to the ironing board, and what you want to do is press to the dark side, preferably. Good standard quilting practice. Then you are going to take these pieces and cut them. If you started, whatever size you started with your squares, if you started with 6 inches like these, you would cut a 6-inch piece. I have 2 already cut right here. And when you take them and layer them so that the opposite colors match, or the colors oppose each other, then what you want to do is take this and just slide these seams until they nest up against each other, and you can really feel it. It's amazing. If you have them on top of one another, you'll feel a bump. If you have them nested perfectly, it will feel just right, and you'll learn that really quickly. When I do that, I like to go on the side that's going through the sewing machine last and put a pin. Just one pin is all I use for a 4-patch. Then just align your edges and sew. And I have one of those. When you get right to this seam, you will need to stop and take your pin out, of course. I have one of these already done that I will show you. As you can see, it comes out very nicely. And when you turn it over, once you've done it, you're going to iron your seam one direction or the other. It really doesn't matter. But when you pop this back open, just take this opposing seam and turn it over, you'll get a little 4-patch. That means you've done it correctly. Now, this also works for 9 patches. To do a 9-patch, what you're going to do, and I have some strips pre-sewn, you'll cut 3 strips the size of the squares it tells you to cut. But you'll just cut strips that long. So a dark, a light, a dark on one set, and a light, a dark, a light on the other set. Iron all your seams one direction. It really doesn't matter which direction you go, because if it's wrong, you just turn it around so that they nest. Now I have one pre-sewn, at least half pre-sewn. Notice how nicely those points match up. Those are the most perfect ones I've ever made. I've got that ironed. And then I have this other piece. Just take my pins out. And I've got my seams so they oppose each other. If you put it on there and the seams are layered together, flip it around. They will nest perfectly. It works every time. Just, you may need to flip it around. Nest those seams. And when it's a 9-patch, I do the same thing, but I pin each intersection. And I do it again the same way, right where I can sew one part of that seam and then pull the pin out and continue sewing. And that's how you do it. It's a perfect way to get perfect points when you're doing a seam where your points need to match, and you will nest those seams and it will turn out great for you every time. I hope that helps you. Thank you so much.